in any case, what I'm hearing from you is that we cannot afford to lose our sense of nuance, and also because that sense of nuance taps into what we're really experiencing.
Yeah.
And AI threatens that we can become avatars of ourselves.
Well, look at it this way. We worship technology. It's our new religion, okay? And we worship ChatGPT as if it's a god. Seriously, there's religious elements going on here. What we really should worship is the human brain, which is the greatest creation in the known universe, I'm afraid. It is the most complex piece of matter in the entire universe. The number of neurons, the number of synapses, the number of possible connections between neurons is infinite, practically infinite. It is a wondrous instrument. It is so powerful, we've barely scratched the surface of what we can use for it. Let us worship that brain that's in your head. You only have so many years to use it. You have only so many years to develop it. It is so wonderful and powerful. It can bring you such pleasure, so much power in life. So tools are fine. We all need tools. We need hammers, we need nails, we need saws, etc. But the real thing is the hand that uses it, the brain that connects the hand to the hammer, that knows how to hit things, you know? I think of the great painter Renoir in the 19th century. He had like a stroke or something. In the last years, he couldn't move his right arm, which he painted with. And it was disastrous. So what he did is he put the brush in his mouth and he painted some beautiful paintings that way, because his brain had mastered the art of painting, not his hand, but his brain had mastered it so well that he could actually paint well with the brush in his mouth, because he could direct it and he had the knowledge of how to make something perfect. The brain is absolutely incredible. The plasticity of the brain, which I'm discovering after my stroke, is absolutely a miracle. You know what? I don't know, is it Professor Schwartz at UCLA who was studying OCD and how he was able to kind of cure people of OCD through certain plasticity exercises that he had, making them aware of their kind of brain lock, etc., and getting them out of it. That plasticity of the brain is by far the greatest miracle of all, and it goes on into your 60s and 70s and onward. Let's all get down on our hands and knees and worship the brain. And if we did, it would create a complete shift in our values. And we wouldn't be so instantly seduced and enamored and worshiping the technology. We would worship the brains that create the technology instead of, the other way around.
I certainly got a fan of brains and their potential for plasticity sitting over here. I have the benefit of having my scientific great-grandparents are Hubel and Wiesel, who won the Nobel Prize for neuroplasticity during the critical period.
Wait, say that again?
So my scientific great-grandparents are David Hubel and Torsten Wiesel. David's dead, Torsten's still alive. He's 96. And they won the Nobel Prize for essentially discovering the critical window early in development where plasticity is especially robust. They did other things too. They should have won 2 Nobels, frankly, for their other work on vision. But one thing that they missed, however, was something that you mentioned and is worth highlighting again, which is that the brain maintains the capacity for immense plasticity throughout the entire lifespan.
Completely.
That's absolutely clear. The conditions change from early to later in life, but your specific situation really highlights that, and it's something I'd really like to talk about for a few minutes if you're willing.